What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to recap my short on COHN, and I'm going to kind of give you guys a couple of conditions that enable you to short microfloats. However, I still do not recommend that you short these. This was basically a nano float, 0.5 million float. Not an ideal trade by any means, but the market's slow. Decided to give this one a shot since it met the perfect criteria. Right now it's working out in my favor, and I'll post the profits in the title and in the chat room. But why did I short this? Well, first of all, even though it's a 0.5 million float, the price is rather high. So when you consider the buying power of retail investors, you have to keep in mind the price of a stock, right? So it's harder to buy 100 shares of a $100 stock than it is to buy 100 or 500 shares of a $2 stock. So this kind of artificially decreases the float a little bit, decreases the volatility. So this, even though it's a 0.5 million float and there it's dumping, probably going to cover some in a minute here. So maybe you guys will see some live covering. Excuse me, I cover a little bit. Or let me set a limit because the fills are pretty bad. So I just covered a little bit there. So yeah, as I was saying, the price will make this act like a little bit of a higher float. So it's still not going to act like a 10 million float, but there's less buying power by retail investors. So you're not going to be able to push the stock as easily. So if this had been like a $6 stock, wouldn't be touching it. The second bearish factor or condition that this met perfectly is that it faked out over the pre-market high and it pushed 30%. So it pushed a sufficient percentage. So people chased this thing on the top, and once it rejected this pre-market high, I took an entry, and my risk was the high of day. So I had an entry close to 50. So roughly 3%, 4%, well maybe 5% risk. And I know this thing's probably going to fade at least to the mid 30s. So the risk reward is there. You have to be willing to cut very, very quickly though. With these microfloats, you get bad fills. So in one candle, this thing can jump like 15, 20%. So if you have trouble cutting losses, then I don't recommend doing this. But because it pushed, it faked out, trapped buyers, was a higher price stock, I took a short on it, average around 50, should be covering close to this white line very soon. Like I said, wouldn't recommend shorting these if you're new, but if you have some experience and you want to try some small size, you can try it out. Anyhow, I hope you guys learned some of my conditions for shorting microfloats. And if you're interested in joining my free chat, check out the link in the description. And please subscribe and like for more videos. Thank you for watching.